What's up guys, Mike here, and today we're going to be talking about the Kevin Durant signing. Now I know the title says that this signing ruined the NBA, but we all know we're still going to watch the NBA next season. So maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but here's the thing. After watching Kevin Durant sign with Golden State, I just don't feel as excited about next season. I'm not hyped to watch the Warriors next season. Instead, this all just feels cheap. And before we go any further, let's just get this out of the way now. Yes, Durant's decision does give him the best chance to win a title. Yes, it does make the Warriors a dynasty. In fact, it practically makes them unbeatable next season. And I get that. I get that people are commenting things like, this man has given 9 years to OKC, he can do what he wants. And why is everyone hating on Durant? LeBron just did the same thing a few years ago. But here's the thing. Durant's decision is not comparable to LeBron's. In fact, it's much worse. LeBron left a team whose second best player was Mo Williams, a team that without him would go on to win 19 games the next season. Durant left a team whose second best player was Russell Westbrook, a top 5 player in the NBA and a team that was just up 3-2 in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron went to the Miami Heat, a team that finished 5th in the Eastern Conference the last season and was completely remaking their roster. Durant is going to the Warriors, a team that just won 73 games, has finished with a championship win and loss in the last 2 seasons, has the MVP, and just beat Durant in the Western Conference Finals. And to me, that's the worst part. The Warriors just beat Durant in the Western Conference Finals. Durant just shot 12 for 31 in Game 5 and 10 for 31 in Game 6. And knowing this, what does Durant do? He signs with the team who just beat him. He's literally living out the phrase, if you can't beat them, join them. Now, on my Twitter, I already said whoever created this phrase is probably also in favor of participation trophies and supports flopping. Thinking some more, I also think this person loves excessive celebration penalties, sides with the owners during lockouts, and wears t-shirts in the pool. You get the point. If you can't beat them, join them is the most cowardly phrase I have ever heard. And that is exactly what Durant is doing. He's joining a team that he can't beat because he's a coward. And maybe coward's too harsh of a word, but honestly, I'm just so disappointed. We want our stars to be competitive. We want to look back at the best players in our era and see how they faced adversity. See how they handled themselves when the odds were against them and no one gave them a chance. There was a time when people said Jordan would never win a championship. There was a time when the Pistons kept beating him. And what happened? He proved those haters wrong and became the greatest player of all time. He didn't join the Pistons and win a bunch of championships because that would be cheap, and that's what Kevin Durant is doing. And the worst part is this wasn't always his mindset. I'm sure you guys have seen this tweet by now, but if not, here it is. Now everybody want to play for the Heat and the Lakers? Let's go back to being competitive and going at these people. To no one's surprise, Durant has gotten a lot of hate from this tweet, which he deserves. But speaking of hate, I think that's one of the most interesting subplots of this whole Kevin Durant decision. The amount of hate this man is about to get. It has been reported several times that Durant reads everything about him, and that criticism really annoys him, which in his current situation is pretty unfortunate. I'm sure he's telling himself he's ready to deal with the hate. I'm sure he's telling himself it'll be worth it in exchange for multiple championships. But I honestly believe this next season is going to be one of the worst years of his life. Throughout the entirety of his career, Durant has been mostly loved and has gotten relatively little criticism compared to other NBA stars. And when Durant has gotten criticism, he's whined and cried to the media because he just can't handle it. At one point, the fans stood behind Durant, but those days are long gone now. He's the most hated player in the NBA. He's going to get booed everywhere he goes, and I don't think he's going to handle it well. I don't think he realizes exactly what he just got himself into. LeBron hated being the villain this season after his decision. He's later called it one of the worst experiences of his life. In comparison, I think Durant will get even more hate than LeBron and will be even less equipped to handle it. I'm calling it now, this will affect Durant next season, and I'm not sure how his image will ever rebound from this. To be clear, Durant's decision is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to the NBA. The number one thing that we all love most about the NBA is its parity. The thing we love most about the 2016 playoffs is just how competitive they were. Even though Golden State finished the regular season with the most wins in NBA history, it still seemed that there were 4 teams with a legitimate shot at winning the title, and the playoffs lived up to those expectations. OKC vs San Antonio was awesome. OKC vs Golden State was even better, and Golden State State vs. Cleveland was the best of all. The playoffs were full of drama, and as fans we couldn't ask for anything more. But then we remember the 2016 Eastern Conference playoffs. Or maybe you don't. That's how boring they were. And why were they boring? The lack of parity. The Cavs were so much better than every other team that we just lost interest. Which brings us to the Warriors, who are now a legitimate super team. Let's be honest with ourselves, if the Warriors stay healthy, there is absolutely no chance that anyone beats them in the playoffs next season. In fact, I don't think anyone comes close. A team that won 73 games last year, a team that just lost the finals in a Game 7, just added a top 3 player in the NBA. Nothing like this has ever happened before, and to be honest, I wish it stayed that way. Like I said before, after Durant's decision, I just feel less excited for the NBA next season. I'm not excited to watch the Warriors. I just feel like this is cheap. And unfortunately, I don't think this decision is only going to affect Golden State. I think it's going to have a ripple effect on the entire NBA. In the next few years, every team that is contending will need to attempt to create a super team to compete with the Warriors, which is possibly the worst thing that has ever happened to the NBA. From now on, every free agent has a free pass to abandon their home team and cherry pick their way onto a contender, because that's the only way that a team will be able to compete with Golden State. And once more super teams form, the NBA only gets less competitive. Sure, it'll be fun to watch two amazing teams play in the finals, but will it be fun to watch an entire 82-game regular season when we already know what's going to happen? And so thanks for watching my take on this signing, guys. To my loyal subscribers, thank you guys so much for supporting me. It really means the world to me. I just can't say that enough. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, I make videos like this. I do NBA what ifs. I go into NBA history. Basically, if you're a basketball fan, I think you'll love this channel, and I would love to have you subscribe. And as always, my dudes, have an awesome day, and cue the music.